In the continuation of the series that we were doing, okay, I will make you understand about different aspects of the tool and the navigation of the application, along with the how we can access what will be the roles that has been defined and how to define and add different sort of roles to the user who is using this particular application. Okay, so first of all, as we said that this particular application is a SaaS based application where operations or the software has been provided as a service. So as any of the service we were using, like we were using Gmail, Facebook, or any application. Similarly, we will be provided with this particular URL. The URL will be something like this, which we used to call as a instance. Okay, or generally in the language we used to call it a pod instance. Okay, every user who should be able to access the application, the admin or the client must have provided you the pod instance along with the username and password. As you log in into your Gmail account, similarly, you will go and make use of any of the browser. Okay. And once you make any use of the browser client, you can just put this URL. It will prompt you to enter your username and password. And once you provide those username and password, it will land you to this particular home screen. Okay. So as we talked about that, okay, the user familiarity and the user experience has improved. The reason is that earlier versions, like one user can access the application only with one browser or one tab of the browser, okay, or only into the one device. But now we can access the same application multiple times within the same browser, okay. Like here, if we want to perform some actions, we might be into a different screen. Suppose we are coming and going into this particular screen, okay, but here we have opened the application and we are going into some different sort of a screen. That is very much possible, okay. So it gives more productivity because multiple screens simultaneously can be open up, okay, like this, okay. So talking about the application, the first utilization or the benefit is same application can be open up in the same browser, multiple tabs can be open up, same screens can be open up, and while opening the same screens, we can perform same sort of actions or different actions onto that particular screen. Suppose here again I want to go and search for my jobs as a screen. We will go to work structures. Under work structures also again here I am opening manage jobs. Here I have searched for the jobs where jobs starting with XXTT, and here I am searching for the job which are starting with PPTT. Okay. These jobs I can even open up and I can even perform certain changes to this particular job. This job has become editable. I can make the data entry changes. Once data entry changes are done, we can save these changes. Okay. Simultaneously, for the same sort of business object, which is a job, we are searching two different patterns. So it will make our productivity increase and make our life easier that we can simultaneously open same screens or a different object so that in case we need to refer, it is possible. Okay. Talking about this particular UI, majorly for all the business object, you will find similar sort of UI that is very important for you to understand. Like first, above section is a search section. Search section will give by default certain parameters you could consider. Based on that, you can enter the value and search, and it will allow you to search the items. Once you pass on certain inputs and click on the search button, the lower bean, okay, this lower section is something which is a result table which will list down all the details about that particular business object that is matching to your search criteria. Okay, majorly in the search criteria, the default appearance is a basic appearance but there is an advanced appearance is also available. If you go to the advanced appearance, this sort of functionality is coming up. If we don't want to pass something like that because we don't know what will be the starting name or something, we can say something that we should need to bring something is not blank, where the code is not blank. We want some data where the code is not blank or the name is not blank and the status is active. That's how also we can search. So we will be getting more details. Okay. In case we need to roll back to the basic view, there is a button we can click on a basic view button. Okay. Talking about whatever the data which is available, you can select that particular row, and here there is something called edit and correct. If we go to the correct, this particular row will be opening up into the correction mode, and we can do the correction that whether the job is temporary or no, we want to make it regular, make it regular. If you go to the review or whatever the mandatory fields that we are supposed to fill up, once that is done, we will go to the review section. Majorly all the screens wherever you are performing the changes, it will show like this. Under the review section, you will understood that okay, this is the attribute value, the heading of this attribute which has this particular value. This is the proposed value. It has not yet saved. Okay, current value is blank, and here regular and temporary, this also we have changed. Current value is temporary and we have changed it to the regular. Okay, then we can save this. And save is also not committing the transactions. Okay, save is just it has been saved into the repository, but it has not been committed and saved into the actual base table. The base table will be hit by clicking on the submit button. Okay, so that's how we can search and we can add it. In case whatever the fields that you have searched for, you want those fields to be listed out. Okay, then there is an export functionality. If you click on that export, what it will do, it whatever the fields, whatever the searched fields that we have searched for, all that will be exported into an Excel file. The all data has appeared into an Excel file format. Clear? So that is one of the useful utility that suppose you have this data based on the filters, you can particularly search for that particular data and then you can export that data. Okay. In case we need to create a new action item, suppose we click on a create, we want to create a new job. We want to give it a name like PPTT underscore job underscore 2. This is the name and this is the code that we need to pass. Okay. Moving to next, it will take to more seek additional details. We want this job to be a regular job. We want this job to be a full-time job. And we can directly submit because the rest of the details are not mandatory and we don't want to pass those details. We can directly submit and save. So if we have created a job starting with PPPT, that's how we can put PPTT and star. And this was the job which already exists, and this is the job that we have recently created. Okay. So in order to create the job, from create we can do format and view. Under view, there is something column. See, all these columns are there. In case you want that, okay, job set should not be visible, you can remove and this job set will be removed. Okay. In case you want the ordering to be changed, under you want job family to be the second column, that's how you can do and job family will become the second column. Okay. So that's how, talking about this particular application, while this is a fusion technical training, but this basic understanding is very much required, because whenever you're going to build a report, whenever you're going to create any data extraction or data insertion through some bulk data insertion tools, you are supposed to go to those particular business transactions and search those data and check and validate whether those transactions has been loaded or the data which has been extracted is matching from the UI or not. Okay. So talking about this particular thing, we have these three bars, we used to call it as a navigator. Okay. This is called navigator. There is something show more. Once you click on a show more or show less, all these sections, which is based on the roles that you are handling. Suppose it is showing something my client group, it is showing something related to the payroll, it is showing something related to the risk management, it is showing something to supply chain, receivables, order management, payables, general accounting, cash management. The reason being, the user that we are using, that particular user has different roles. He can act as a payroll manager, he can act as a HR manager, he's working as an accountant, he's even handling the supply chain operations for the organization. That's why there has been multiple modules, multiple roles can be attached. Okay. That is the reason, if the particular person has multiple roles, okay, within a within a team, one particular person is a developer, in addition to that he's working as a team lead, in addition to that he's working as a like you could say, apart from team lead and a developer, he can be handling a your internal accountant, like team accountant. He's working as a, so multiple, single user might be having multiple roles. So one of the major benefits of Fusion is that in the previous version, if one particular person is acting as a multiple role, he is working as an account manager as well as he is working as a payroll manager. Okay. So he cannot perform the work of a payroll manager or HR manager and account manager simultaneously. He has to switch the responsibilities. Okay. Until unless the person, the user, switching the responsibility, he is not able to access those particular screens. Okay. So if he is working onto one of the business operations, that it is running the payroll for the employees. Okay. While running the payroll of the employees, he has to validate what is the current account balance for the organization, to validate that suppose 10 lakh has to be credited to 5 employees. Do the company also holds 10 lakh of money in their account? Okay. So he cannot open those screens simultaneously. He has to switch from payroll manager responsibility to account general accounting responsibility, and then only he is able to access those particular screens to validate the data, and then again he has to switch back to the payroll manager responsibility and perform those sort of transactions. Okay. While here what has happened, if you have 5 different roles for 5 different operations, all will be listed simultaneously, and all things you can open simultaneously. There is no dependency that you have to switch between the things, and then only you can perform the transactions. Okay. Clear, guys? Under each of these things, based on the roles that you are having, these tools is nothing but certain tools that are applicable to see, like what actions we can perform. Okay. Suppose there is a one tool that is security console. If we click on a security console, it will take us to one screen. This particular screen is that we are discussing today, which is like in case you are supposed to create new roles, or there has been some existing roles into the organization, you can search any role like here. Okay. How we have landed to this particular screen? This is very important screen, security console. Come to your navigator, come to tools. Under tools, there is one link called security console. Security console is the place which is responsible to ensure that whatever the roles has been there. So you can search land to this particular screen under the role section. You can search different roles and see what this role is all about. Okay. It says human capital management. This is the short code of this particular role, and this is the description for this particular role. What sort of functionalities or pages or sub roles, responsibilities, privileges attached to this particular role, all those will be listed here. Okay. One more thing to understand, majorly whatever the roles which has been provided by Oracle, Oracle has created multiple seeded roles. Okay, each of those roles might be having certain utilization. So all the roles which has been created by Oracle, Oracle has started the code for those particular roles as ORA underscore. ORA stands for Oracle. These roles has been created by Oracle. Okay, clear. So one more thing to understand, although this is one role, but this role contains many additional roles. Okay, so role inheritance is also possible, that there is one role, that role contains multiple sub roles. Like the main major role, the parent role is this one, but there has been certain child roles like aura bin benefit implementation, benefit setup, benefit implementation, aura document type. Each of these has their own meanings. Okay, clear? Like suppose there is a role name called BI consumer. So if we search for this particular role, we will be able to search for this particular role. Once we search, it will list down that, okay, this is the role and this role contains only this role. No additional roles are there. Okay. If we search again back to the role human capital, it will list down the roles and all the sub roles which has been part of this particular parent role. Okay. All this leads, sometimes you need to do the analysis, you need to confirm, you need to support to the auditors that for this one particular user like session.lab2, we have assigned this particular role. So they need to ensure, they need to validate that, okay, although you have given this particular role, but by given this particular role, what are the additional roles which has been inherited and automatically provided. So you can come search for this particular role and validate these are the roles. And now the auditors who are coming and auditing for you, they cannot see this data and validate from here. They want that, okay, give this data to us. So you can click on export to Excel and all these roles will be exported and provided into your Excel file. Okay. This is the navigation. You can enlarge and hide the particular section. Okay. In addition to that, these two toggle buttons are there, which will, this will be providing the roles into the list view. And if you click on this, it will provide the roles into a different view that, okay, this is the role. The center is the role and it has multiple sub roles. You can click, zoom, and then that's how you will be able to understand that, okay, this is the user session.user, and to this session.user, this is the role which we have assigned. And to this particular role, you can see, if you drag and drop, if you could see, this particular privilege manage time and attendance attention sets has been attached. Okay, here also you have a privilege that in case you just want to see only privileges, in case you want to see only predefined roles that you need to be extracted, you can select this and you can click on the extract, or you can again go back to the different sort of view, which is this view. Clear, guys? Additionally, if you come here, there is a provision that you can do edit roles, okay, which is not recommended. Any role which is starting with ORA, or the role which has been started with PER, these are the seeded roles which has been defined by Oracle. It is not recommended that you will edit the seeded role. Okay. But yes, provision is there. If you have that particular uh, access rights for each of roles, once you search, there is a provision that you can edit the role. Okay. Why we are editing the role? Because we need to either remove certain privileges or we need to add certain privileges. So what is recommended, that we should not need to edit the existing role. Okay. But instead of that, we can create a copy of this existing role. We will create a clone of this particular role. Suppose this role contains 5 sub roles. Okay. And our business requirement is that we need to create a role similar to this role, having those 5 roles, but instead of those 5 roles, we want only 2 roles to be part of that role. 3 roles should not be there. 3 sub roles are not should be allowed. So instead of directly editing this role and removing these 5 additional roles, what we are supposed to do, we are supposed to come here, create a copy of this particular role, and once we created a copy, it will list down all the sub roles. Out of those sub roles, you can keep only the roles which are of your interest, and you can remove rest of the privileges and roles. Clear? Clear, guys? Additional feature is compare roles. Suppose there are 2 roles. Okay. If we want to compare those roles, that okay, what this role is capable of and what the other role is capable of, there is a provision that we can select a compare role. So left hand side is this role, right hand side which role you want to compare, you can select that particular role. Suppose we want one role called BI consumer. We want these 2 roles to be compared. Okay. See what this shows, that this is the first role, this is the second role. This functionality is available in first role, but this functionality is not available into the second role. Okay. So here you want to see all the data. You want to see only those roles which are applicable into first role. You want to see only those which are available into the second role. If you select this and click on compare, we will be getting only those roles or sub roles which are available in second role. Okay. And in case we will select that the things or the roles or sub roles or privileges which are common in both the roles. Okay. So this will list down whatever the things which are common. In case we have anything common, that will be list down. In addition to that, very important thing that will help you as a technical consultant. Okay. Suppose you have seen this particular navigator. It has so many of categories, and each categories has sub functions to access from. But how do we understand that okay, which role is giving me the access for this particular link? Okay. That you can make use of using this particular simulator. You will search for this particular role, and then you can go to the simulate navigator. The navigator will be coming in a simulator mode, and it will show all those tabs and functionality which are accessible based on this particular role. Okay. Whatever we have in this navigator, that has been coming up into a simulator mode, and you can see all these links are available there. Okay, out of these links, every link which has a lock, okay, that means these sort of pages are not accessible if you award or assign this particular role to the user. Okay, only the things which does not have log, only those particular things are applicable and accessible to the person to whom you are awarding this particular role. Okay, if we go to the tool section, see these things, worksheet approvals. Okay, these three does not have any logs. Set preferences, announcement, it does not have any log. Alerts does not have any log. So if you create one user and if you assign this one particular role, that and once you log in into that particular application using that particular role, in the navigator you will see only these, under tools you will see only these 3 4 links. You will not be able to see so many links that has been listed currently. You will be able to see schedule process because schedule process is not logged. Okay, you will be able to see transaction console as well. Clear, guys? So for each role, what that particular role is going to provide, definitely Oracle has provided the documentation that you can refer, but instead of documentation, it is very easy to understand that what access has been provided by this particular role wherever there is no log. In addition to that, suppose you want to see that, okay, you want to see this user, how to get this link access. Once you click on this, it will tell view role that grant access. Whatever the role which can grant this access, you can view role to grant access. It will list down that these are the roles. Okay, if you want, if the customer, if to particular user you want to give this particular access, okay, instead of going to the documentation, you can directly come here and you can easily figure it out that, okay, to give the access to this automotive and customer link, these roles are required to be provided. So either one of the roles is capable to give this access, or all these 3 roles are required to provide the access. One by one you can award this role to the user and accordingly check and validate that user should get this particular access. Okay, so that is something about the navigation as well as the role management and security management. In addition to that, you can see certain links here. Whenever the person who has been logged in, you can see that logged in username is coming up. And once you click here, we have a sign out option. We have our set preferences. If we go to the set preferences, what we will see, we will be able to see what will be our region, what will be the language. If we go to the language, we can change our language. Currently our default language is English, session language is English, and display language is also English. In case we change it to Canadian French, we can change it to Canadian French and save it. Entire application will change and display into the French language. Okay, only in the preferences we can the thing which are useful to us is the language, because password we are not setting. Admin is not allowing us that we can override the password here. Okay, it will be handled from the backend or from the security console. How to access security console? Come to the navigator, come to the tools. Under tools we have something called security console. So we have seen what is role about. Then there is another interesting and very useful piece is users. Okay. So there should be users defined into the system. If we search for that particular user, there has been 2 users defined into the system with the name starting with session. Okay. These users are currently active. These users are not logged. This user has the username associated like this, and this is the email address. This user does not have any email address associated. If you want to drill down inside, click on this particular user. and you could see further more details about this particular user. This user has all these roles assigned. Okay. Since this user is having so many roles related to the accounts, it has something related to the HR, it is having the roles related to the finance, it is having the roles related to the compensation. That is the reason if we go to the navigation, so many links are appearing here. Okay. That is the reason. So, in case you want to add more roles to the user, that is possible. You can edit it. Once we edit it, you could see that there is an account payable manager. Okay. This account payable manager is the role. You don't want this role to be there. You can just delete this role. Okay. That role has been deleted and you can come save and close. Okay. You want that okay, at certain point of time this particular user is having 20 different roles. Now you don't want that particular user to have these roles. You can one by one delete, or you can click on remove all roles and delete all the roles, and you can assign any required role from start again. Okay. In case you want to add roles, click on add roles, search for that particular role that we have recently removed. This is the role that we have removed. Okay. Aura AP accounts payable. For the same role, you could see multiple rows because this is the test instance. People might have just created a copy of those particular roles. Okay, add role membership was done. Click done. That role has been added. Once that role has been added, we can go save and close. Okay. In case you want to reset the password, currently I have a username that has a password like suppose PASS@123. Okay, you want to reset the password, that is very much possible. You can search for the user. You can click on to the reset password. It will prompt you to enter your new password. Okay, you can enter your password and then you can reset the password. Okay. The password could have the policy that it should be starting, it must be having one full character, it should be minimum 10 digit, it must be having one special character, a numeric number. All that will be handled by the functional consultant. Uh, once they are setting up the system, once they are configuring the system, at that time when they are setting up the enterprise application for the system, at that time there is a provision for the username and password. There they will be setting up these password policies. Okay. In case sometime the people has tried to log in into the application and they wrongly entered the password 2 time, 3 time or 5 time, automatically what has happened, their account has become logged. Okay. So they have reported that okay, till yesterday I was able to log in, but today I am not able to log in into my system. Then they have logged one ticket. As a technical consultant, you must be receiving those tickets. So what is the point action that you are supposed to perform? You will search for that particular user by going to the security console and ensure that okay, this either the account has been not active because there has been password expiration attached. Based on that, activation is not working, or otherwise what has happened, this particular logged is clay. So you can edit this, and you, if this is logged, you can unlock. If this is inactive, you can active, and that's how you can save the things. Okay. Once you are done, you can just do done. Clear? In case you want to compare users, okay, that is also possible. You can go to compare. There is one user, that is session. Okay, I want one this user and one user is Kapil. We can compare these users to see that okay, what are the roles which has been provided to this particular user. Suppose what is the business functionality within a team, two different users are there. They are saying that okay, my this peer is able to perform to run the payroll while I am not able to run the payroll. Okay, so you can come take their users and compare what are the roles with the user one is having, what are the roles which are user two is having. And since they are from the same team, same background, and they are supposed to perform same operational duty, you will see what are the roles which are missing to user 2. After looking those particular list of roles which are missing, you will compare and check which particular role is for giving you the access for particular screen that is running the payroll. Okay, once that is there, you will assign that particular role to user 2 as well. Clear, guys? Okay. In addition to that, we have something called report and analytics, that is OTBI. Okay, there is one tool called Oracle Transaction Business Intelligence. Okay, how to access this? Under Navigator, they, there are two ways to access this. Shortcut or for the functional people, there is something called reports and analytics. Once you go to the reports and analytics, it will land you to one particular screen, and in this particular screen all the reports which has been created for you and you have marked those reports as a favorites, those reports will be listed there. Okay, and once you click on these particular list of reports, if you want to access, you just click on these links and those links data will be displayed. Guys, I'm telling very basic navigations and the basic concepts. We have not gone into the actual developmental reports and all. So just bear with me. These are just very basic things, but they are quite required because as a technical consultant you are supposed to compare the jobs, you are supposed to create a role. Okay, you are supposed to assign the role to the user which will be beneficial for you. Okay, so that's how whatever the reports that has been built, okay, and you have provided the access of this particular report to this particular user, that's how. And although the person has the access for 10 reports, okay, but out of those 10 reports, this particular user day-to-day operation is accessing and requiring these reports at very frequently. That is the reason what has happened. Those report has been marked as a favorite. You see this report is marked as a favorite. Star is there. Okay. The things which has been marked as a favorite that will be listed here so that you does not need to navigate to report and analytics directly, but from here itself you can access those reports. Okay, further on in reports and analytics, this is still your UI, this is your front end application, while report and analytics OTBI is your backend server application. So to access that, there is a browse catalog. Once you click on a browse catalog, it will take us to this particular screen, which is this backend application. This is the home screen. It will land us. Okay. Another way to access this is like whatever the URL of our instance. Okay, we will take the URL of our instance, and in addition to that, we will add this keyword called analytics. Once we add this analytics, it will take us to this particular screen. Okay, so technical people may access the application directly like this as well. There is one additional application, or you can say server. If you know, if ever you have worked into the Google Cloud or anywhere you can upload your data, right? One software is Dropbox is there where you can upload your images or your documents. A cloud based repository which will provide you maybe 5 GB of data space. Okay, or you might be having iCloud space registration, there you can upload your data. Similarly, once the person has purchased the license for the Oracle Fusion, Oracle Fusion has also their cloud space, some repository or some directory where you can upload your data, or you while performing certain transaction, Oracle themselves are using this particular repository to keep certain sort of temporary access, keeping the files into this repository, and then performing the actions onto those particular set of data. What is that repository? That repository is called content server. Content server, or we may use to call it as UCM. UCM is also the same, which is content server. So to access the content server, take your instance port and edit this word CS. CS stands for content server, and enter. You will be landing to this particular screen. That is the UCM server. Okay. In this UCM server, whatever the data, whatever the files that has been accessed by Oracle or you have provided, that will be available here. If you make the blind search, you could see the files will be listed. See, all these files will be listed. This is the title of the file. If you go into the actions, you will see more details about this file. Who's the author of the file? What is the name of the file? What is the link of the file? Is there any comment associated with that particular file? See, what is the type of the file, title, who's the author, Hikmat is the author. Is there any comment associated? Yes, comment. What is the version of this file? What is the content ID? Content ID is nothing but the unique identifier of this particular file. Does this file contains or act as a security group of attachment? Yes. What is the type of this file? It is a plain text or a JPG image or a audio file or what it is. Okay. And what is the actual file? This is the actual file. Okay, in case you want to delete, you can delete this file from here. Clear, guys? Another one important, before we discuss about OTBI, okay, another important aspect is, if we come here, see, if we compare these particular users, session.lab and couple those session, we understood that, okay, these roles are inherited into couple those session, but these roles are not available into this role called session.lab. User does not have these roles. Okay. In case you want to compare based on to show and reflect only those roles which are there in second user, you can select this and accordingly it will be showing those particular inputs. Okay. Other thing is, as your administrator, every organization wants that, okay, there should be a single sign-on activated. Okay. So the administrator will come. Suppose there is one single sign-on service provider for which the company has registered. They have certain APIs purchased or they have certain integration keys enabled. So that is a job of a administrator. They will work with that service provider will give some inputs. What are those inputs? Service provider will give some signing certificate and encryption certificates, and they will give some identifier details. Okay. Whatever those details has been provided, your administrator will log in, come to single sign-on, attach those details here, provide the identity provider details and save this. That's how what will happen, that each user who was getting created, we should not need to give or reset the password, but your system will be access to every eligible user into your organization through the single sign-on. The email address and the you can say the password that they are using to unlock their system, to unlock to your their company portal or to unlock to their email or Teams. Okay, same password will be applicable and used to access your application as well. Okay. Generally, what has happened, like whenever the organization purchase the license for the Fusion application, they will get minimum 2 or 3 different ports. Okay, one is the live port, which is a production port having the real-time data scenarios. Okay, real-time transactions are happening into the production environment. Another instance is a development environment where the development is happening. Okay. Every enhancement configurations. First of all, suppose you want to create a new role or you want to create a new user and assign certain roles to that user. You are not going to directly create that user or role into your production environment. Okay. You should need to follow to the change management process, which says that first you need to do all your development or configuration into the development environment. You will do your unit testing. Once you are sure that, okay, whatever the development that you have done, it ensures that, okay, the outcome is correct. Okay, the outcome is what you have been expecting, then you will move those changes into the test environment. Test environment, you will perform the UAT, you will release that environment and changes to your business user. They will perform user acceptance testing. Once they confirm that okay, system is behaving as per their expectation, then only as per your company release calendar date, you will migrate those changes into your production environment. Okay, so generally what has happened, single sign-on is applicable and working only into your production environment, while into your lower instances like test instance or in your development instance, there is no single sign-on services enabled, because this service also cost for every instance. They need to give you the certifications, and for every user there will be some agreement that okay, if we are buying in this single sign-on service from third party, they will say that okay, we will give you single sign-on capability, that one user can access the same user credentials for 20 different applications, and for 1 year we are going to charge $100. Okay, so that's how the company will get into the agreement and purchase those sort of licenses and certifications. Okay, another one important thing which is of any use to us, that is administration. If we come to the administration, usually usually what has happened, the users who are admin of the application, they can access this application administration, and they will see, suppose you are creating a copy of this particular role. Okay, let's try to create a copy. Let's search a role called BI consumer. Okay, this is the BI consumer role. If we want to create a copy of this particular role, okay, the copy is not allowed. There are certain seeded role which has only one role attached. Okay, so Oracle is smart enough to decide and give you the options, like it has only one sub role. Why you want the copy? If you want to attach this role to some another role, you can directly attach. There is no point to make the copy. Okay, but sometime what has happened, if we are going to create a copy of that role, and if we come to the administration and see here the status of the roles. Okay, the status of the role, you can see that the copy of the role, it was showing it is in progress, or it is on hold, or it has completed. Suppose these are the roles which has been copied. So now after clicking of the copy role, if you come to the role status, our role will be coming here with the status as in progress until unless the copy operation completes. Once the copy operation completes, the status has become completed. Okay, clear? Under roles, what has happened, there are certain things like okay, whenever you are trying to create a copy of any role, suppose the role name is HCM data loader is the role. You want to create a copy of that role. The moment you will create a copy, automatically the name and the short code of that role is whatever the already existing name. On top of that, it will add LIK as a prefix and CUST as a suffix. Okay. So each organization will come and set this particular parameter fields there, so that whenever the copy of role is going to be created, automatically these keywords will be added, and there should not be that, there will be no discrimination, and all the custom roles will be marked with CUST at the end, so it will be easy to identify those particular roles. Clear? Okay, if you go to the analytics, How to go? Go to the tools, and under tools there is something called security console. Under security console there is something called analytics. Under analytics, you could see that which role category has how many roles, okay, how many aggregate functionalities, all those details about that particular roles has been listed, how many total roles has been defined into the system. This is something is useful to see and list down whatever the configurations which are available into our system. Okay, this automatically gives you this analysis, and with using this particular tool, okay, using the OTBI, we can build a different sort of report that will be of this sort of data presentation, that the data will be listed into a table view, the data will be listed into a graph of a pie graph, or a you could say a graph of a bar graph and all. We will be creating that sort of analysis using that particular tool. Okay, one more thing that is important under tools, that guys, this is clear so far now, right? In addition to that, few more places like API authentication. Suppose you, as an organization, you want to applicable and you want to get it your application integrated with Amazon, because in your organization you are awarding some vouchers based on the performance. There has been certain employee awards, monthly awards or quarterly awards. Based on that, employee will be accruing some award points. Based on those particular award points, they can make a purchase from Amazon. Okay, so what has happened, or they can purchase certain things from Udemy, or they can purchase certain subscription from Netflix. Okay, so what has happened, your organization has got a deal from these three service provider, and if they agreed that okay, we want to integrate that our employees will directly get purchasing from your platform, so those organizations will give certain APIs for integration. Okay, so those APIs should be integrated through this API authentication. Those access to those particular platform through your application. Okay, because if any individual can access Amazon, they can access the Amazon from their personal accounts as well, from Gmail account which they have already created. Or if they have access from this corporate account, it should have some different features. It should be having some discounted policies or additional offers and all. Okay, so that authentication, that API authentication should be registered here. But that is not a Fusion technical person job. That is mainly to be handled by administrators in collaboration with the service provider, as well as in collaboration with the Oracle support engineer. Okay, the moment we get into the agreement and third party service provider, maybe Amazon has provided you the details, you will review those documents, they will provide you all the inputs, they will provide you the SOP. Following those SOP, you will configure and put on these particular parameters under API authentications, and then you will ensure that it is working. If not working, you will raise an service request with Oracle and get this validated by Oracle. Okay, and Oracle will support. Clear? So in addition to that, on the top, you could see in case you being the manager or HR or account manager of your organization, and you should be notified to perform certain action. Suppose you are an HR manager, some recruiter has hired 5 employees into the organization for one particular department, maybe IT department. Okay, so you being an HR manager should be notified. You should be notified only for your information, that you are just informed, or the other notification is for your approvals, that is you are informed to approve that you should need to take certain actions. Then how you will get to know that okay, certain actions are pending for you, that is this bell icon will say with the number of 10 different notifications which are pending to be seen. If you click on this, there is something that, okay, FIA notification is there. You can dismiss this or you can approve this. You can go inside and take necessary actions that, okay, you want to approve this particular transaction. Okay. That is also a part of a transaction console. Clear? Some notification will open with certain content. This is to inform that new person has hired by this particular person. This effective date from this date to this date. That contents will be seeded Oracle for each action. Oracle has certain contents. Okay. Like this particular person has taken some actions and this thing. This is the transaction value. Process was saved. Certain inputs will be provided. And here there will be some buttons called to approve, reject, or cancel. You can take appropriate actions. Okay. Any particular page that you are accessing and you want to access that page multiple times. So one thing is that you can come here, under that you can go to work structures. Under work structures, you will come to this particular page called suppose manage jobs. This is the page. Okay. As a engineer, you are supposed to work on to this particular page very frequently. So you can add this page into your favorites. Here you can mark this as a favorites. Okay, you can go to favorites and add this page to favorite. Okay, manage jobs. You can save and close. Okay, so if you come to favorites, there are two tabs. Manage jobs now became here. You go to any screen, but if you want to navigate to this particular screen, because this black banner will be always a global banner, all these buttons and functionality will always be visible, no matter where you're standing. Okay. In addition to that, under favorites, there is a recent items. If you are navigating to different screens. You remember we have gone to simulator. I have shown you language. We have gone to user screen. We have accessed this particular report. We have gone to report analytics. We talked about single sign-on, administrator role, analytics, API. We again went to work structures and access this manage jobs. So all those screens that we are visiting, all will be listed into recent items. From there also you can validate and you can navigate to these particular screens. Okay. And if you are standing into any screen but you need to go back to the home screen, there is a home screen available here. Okay, all these things which are available into the navigator, my client group have all these things. Wipro report journey, all these things are available here as well. So these are also called tiles. Okay, or sections. Under that, these are called different tiles which are available. Same sort of actions, functionalities, links are available there. Okay, it is possible that certain things which are available into the navigator but are not available here, like data exchange is the thing which is there, but data exchange you can see is not available here. Reason being, if you click on this plus icon, okay, in this plus icon and under my client group, these are the things which are listed. Out of those things, data exchange is not ticked. If you click on this data exchange and then save and close, by default, all the functionality as per your assigned roles will be listed in your navigator. But on the tile section, you can add or remove the things like this. Now see, data exchange is visible. Clear? So same sort of functionality you can access from here. If you have accessed those pages and you have marked those pages as favorites, you can access those pages from favorites. Same thing if you come to home section, it is up to you what you find comfortable. You can, it's like your home page. In your mobile phone as well, you will have some icons that you will keep at the desktop or something, right? It is something like that. We have kept these shortcuts. Okay. Similar to this, we can design and add these shortcuts. Whatever the functionalities or pages are there, we can add here as per our convenience and the utilization. We can have these things. So these are nothing, whatever I have explained, that we can add this, we can remove this. This is called the personalized experience. Okay, suppose you remove these 8 or 10 things, you keep only 5 things. The user is session.lab2. These are personalized to session.lab2. Session.lab2 will be able to see this data exchange, while Kapil.session will not be able to see because he has not added and enabled this particular screen to be displayed onto this particular UI. Clear? In addition to that, based on your access, there has been certain quick links, like you can hire a person or hire a person. If you go to new person, there is a screen called hire an employee. Okay. New person is something, the additional or a heading, the outer heading. Okay. Internally, there has been certain actual actions that you are supposed to perform. That you are talking about person. That person could be your supplier. That person could be your buyer. That person could be your contractor employee. That person could be your retired employee. That person could be your intern, or that person could be your actual employee as well. Okay. But all these different people are what? These are person as a category. Okay. So internally we have sub classification. You want to hire an employee, you want to hire a contractor employee, you want to add a pending worker, you want to add a contingent worker, like this you can do. But outside in the quick links, similar to favorites, there are, you want to hire an employee directly, these quick links are available. Hire an employee. You want to go to see to the person details, you can go directly from there. Okay. And there is some link is show more, which is not visible. In this show more, additional links which are not visible there, those links will be listed. Okay. Don't get confused that many things you need to learn or something. No, that is not our job. That is functional people might be accessing these screens, and all these screens are accessible, and so many screens are accessible. The reason is that we have all the master role, all the admin roles has been assigned. That's why that many things. In actual, when as a technical consultant or a functional consultant or business users you are working, you have been working into some single sort of domain, some simple sort of you can say action parameters that has been assigned as per your roles and responsibilities and duties, and accordingly specific roles has been assigned to you. Okay. Clear, guys? Last 2 more minutes I will take. There is one screen under this tools. There is a screen called file and import. File import and export. Okay. What this file import and export will do? This file import and export, what it will do, that you can upload any files. Okay. Where you will upload the file, we have already seen that Oracle has provided us one web repository where the data can be uploaded or files can be uploaded and placed into that particular file, right? So you, in this server we have the option to search and delete the file, but we did not have the option to upload. Where to upload? From file and file import utility, under tools there is file import and upload. From there you can browse the file and upload the file. Once you upload the file, you will see the content ID. You can come search based on that content ID and you will be able to search for that particular file. Clear? Clear, guys?
Where do we use this file? What we upload? Just like,
Come again.
where do we use this file? Like, can we
we
use
we will
like
come
loading
to
the
that
data?
portion. I am telling very
Okay,
basic
okay,
utilities.
okay.
Okay. What is the use of that file? See, actually we are never going to upload these files. Okay. But certain tools, if certain application has given you that, okay, I'm giving you 100 implies data, please make sure that this data should be uploaded into your Fusion application, because tomorrow onwards I need to see those users and implies into my system, because I need to perform the business transaction, right? Then there is a tool that we are supposed to use. That tool internally read that file. If to read that file, if you are supposed to read that file, you have to take that file into your jurisdiction. What is that jurisdiction? Oracle Fusion will take that file and put it into this their own server. From that server, it will read the data one by one and upload into the Fusion application. Okay. Keep your curiosities with you. I will be coming to that portion as well, but try to understand these are very basic lessons. Okay, some small utilities as part of fusion technical learning. Bigger tools we will be learning, but apart from those bigger technologies, these are small technologies which are of utmost importance to a consultant. Okay, so in case you want to upload the file, sometime you want to upload the file, what you will do, come to the add icon, you will browse for that particular file, and in your file system as well you have that, okay, where you want to keep the file, you want to keep into resume folder, this folder, demo folder. Similarly, there as well, in this server as well, there could be certain folders which has been defined into to be consideration. Okay, we can upload the file directly into those particular folders. A list of folder will be listed, we can select that and upload it. Okay, clear? So guys, I request each one of you that you please contact Kumar, okay, and get yourself enrolled, get all the accesses. You should be getting this system access. You should be getting your username, password. I request each one of you to go through your recordings. You will be getting a lifetime access to the recordings. Whatever the things that we have discussed, the navigation, the access part, just get yourself familiarized with the application, try to navigate to different screen. We have seen how to create a job, we have seen how to search for the job. Okay, if you are familiar and getting confident enough with the searching of the job, creation of the job, editing of the job, the same understanding is required to hundred of different business components. Okay, because the navigation, the UI are similar, the properties to search, to go to the basic search, or to move to from basic search to advanced search, all will remain same. Okay, clear guys? And I request each one of you to get yourself registered, contact Kumar. Okay, because tomorrow onwards the classes will be having at the different link. Admin will be sharing a different link only with the users who has already been registered.
Hello, Piyush. This is Triveni from Triotech admin team. So thank you so much for the session. I just want to make an announcement to all the participants that yesterday and today we have a free demos, and from tomorrow onwards we'll be going to have our regular sessions. So I mean, like only for the enrolled participants, we'll be sharing a new meeting link. So I request everyone to confirm the enrollments by today itself. So to confirm the enrollment, please reach out to us on 8179563510, the number we have posted in Zoom chat. Thank you.
Yes, Avinash, you have some question?
Yeah, Piyush. So I'm just trying to compare these roles and users with the EBS users and responsibility. Uh,
The
with the EBS responsibility.
no, what? Okay, just a second.
Yeah.
Guys, you might be having some prior experience with EBS or PeopleSoft, okay, or might be having some functional experience, or might be having some another ERP application. Please forget everything related to that. Okay, don't try to
Okay.
compare EBS with Fusion. Fusion is something totally different. Okay, it does not have any. In EBS, you have responsibilities. Responsibilities has menus. Menus has functions. Okay, in functions you have the possibility that when you are creating a user, you can attach the responsibility. In that responsibility you can attach the request data group. In that you have the possibility to add menus. In that menus you will add functions, you can exclude and include menus and all those sort of things. That is not there. Okay.
Yeah, I'll probably ask it separately in a different way. So why there is a need of customizing the roles? My understanding is that just to provide some sort of
No, I'll tell you.
privileges.
I'll tell you. I'll tell
Yeah.
you. The customization, although why the Fusion application came into picture, because Fusion is a best of the best practices that Oracle has learned over a period of last 4 decades. Okay, that's how this tool has evolved and come into the market. Okay, but still the client wants to have a baggage that they are using EBS or some other application that offers more sort of functionalities that can be customized. So Oracle has standardized the tool in most appropriate way that it should suit to the different region, different customers, different industry. But still there could be a requirement. Like I'll tell you one scenario. Like you have attached one role, and that role gives you the employee that they can log in into the system and they can upload their personal details, like they can edit their personal email address, phone numbers, and all those sort of things. In addition to that, there is a provision that they can upload their image as well. Okay, they can upload their image into the portal. Okay, but your customer wants that, okay, we don't want to give this particular privilege to our employee to upload the image while they are supposed to share the images at the time of their recruitment, or we will click the images and only the HR manager should need to have the privilege to upload those images. Okay, so there is predefined role. That role is the employee role. Employee role give you the privileges to upload image, update contact number, add bank details, and add personal contact details, all those things. Okay, but your customer wants that I want all these five privileges to be given to the employee, but he should not be having this sixth privilege, that is to upload the image. That is the reason what you will do. Instead of using the seeded role, you should do copy of this seeded employee role, and from that employee role, suppose six privileges are there, you will keep five privileges and remove the sixth privilege, save it, and now onwards, whenever there is any user creating, you are not assigning a seeded employee role while you are assigning a custom employee role to your users. Okay.
Okay, so if I'm trying to understand with an example that you have given at the start, for manage, like navigating to manage position and manage jobs, if I need to restrict my access, like for some of the users, they can only view the jobs and not able to edit the jobs.
That is not
Can I
through,
do
that
that?
is okay. That is also very much possible, but that is not through the roles. Okay. What has happened? Roles will give you the privilege to access those particular screens and functionalities, but there is certain things that is for each role we have a security enabled. In addition to that, there is certain things called profile option. Okay. There is one seeded profile which has been provided by Oracle. That profile will give you the read only access. If you, for any particular user, you will attach that particular profile and set the value read only enabled yes, then based on the rules that particular user is having, they can navigate to different screens, but all those screens are only read only, they cannot edit or create the data.
Okay, so are you gonna cover more about that in next sessions? Privileges, access,
Yes, we will
profile
be covering.
options.
This is very basic things.
Okay,
We will be
okay,
creating an actual role. We will be, if, or I will be providing you the access. I want each one of you to actually have a hands-on experience going through these different tools. Okay. Under tool section itself, we have different tools while we are working into the personalizations, while we are working into the transaction console. At that time, we will be definitely accessing different screens. Whenever we are creating and uploading our data through SDL, we will be getting back to the job screens to see whether the data has been created, uploaded. Whenever we are creating a BIP report or OTBI reports, we will be definitely coming back to these screens again. We will be discussing about roles and security more. Okay.
okay, okay.
One thing,
Thanks.
Yeah, I
just a
have.
second. Yes. Any other questions?
Yeah. In terms of this technical plus OIC, yesterday you shown the syllabus. So where is the OIC part starts? I mean, can you? Yes. Can you show me?
This 14th module is OIC.
Okay. So only 14? Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
the module.
In addition to that, OIC has an interdependency. See, this is not just an OIC course. Yesterday also, like if OIC, you must be learning a separate course. If you are interested for our OIC, we have a separate sessions and classes going on, separate batches also going on for OIC. That and the other enrollments that you might be taking in OIC, that is vast. that might be covering OIC, VBCS, and PCS. All these three services they are covering. But here we are covering the prerequisites of OIC, the integration, XML, JSON, web services, REST API, SOAP API, and in addition to that, creating an integration using OIC. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Fine, fine. And will you explain the new architecture in cloud? Because most of the people are with EBS or Fusion background. So how it is different in cloud? Because all this technicality will happen on the either PaaS server or something. So how it will be positioned? So will you explain that?
I'll see to it. First, start learning to the tools, and then in between, I will pitch in, because without that, you will not be able to understand. But there is no technical stack difference, only the infrastructure difference is there. Okay. The best of the practices has been built into the Fusion tool. The access mechanism has changed, and it is more of the user utilization and experience. User experience has improved, and in backend, the infrastructure changes has happened. Instead of on-premises solution, now the services and the screens and the application has been hosted into the cloud, Oracle Cloud Server. Okay. There is no changes that how the tables has been interacting, how the data has been communicated, whatever the front end layer, whatever the data model layer. But once we will be discussing about the data extraction part and learning the tools and technology for the BIP, OTBA, you will be getting more understanding. And during those course of action, I will be explaining those concepts as well. Okay.
Uh,
Yes.
Piyush, one quick question. Okay. Do the Fusion will support bulk upload of roles for the individual users?
Yes. Yes.
Is there any process or is it something like Excel spreadsheet loader, which you can do?
No, HDL is the tool now that is going to support. We will be learning all those things.
Okay.
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 Like I will be explaining, like, see, there might be thousands of components. Everything we will not be demonstrating, but we will make sure that whether whatever is your current competency and what is your background, but after completion of this 45 days to 2 months of course training, you yourself can establish yourself as a 3 to 5 years of Fusion technical consultant experience person. Okay. So
Okay.
you will be able to understand, like, once you're facing a customer, which components can be supported, which technology can be used. Suppose for one particular set of operation, three technologies are available. Which technology is best to perform those sort of action? That sort of analytical mindset and confidence you should be able to build. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Hi
Again,
Piyush.
I'm requesting.
One question. You you have mentioned that FRC in your summary level, right? I can see
Come
in your
again.
screen. FRC and smart views. I can see in at the summary level. Whatever you have shared right now, it is there in FRC, but in detail section it is missing. So FRC smart view, are you covering that?
No, that is not part of a Fusion technical. That is a BICC sort of concept. Once we are done with the Fusion technical, certain portions, if applicable, we will be discussing, because that is very different sort of technical components and server. Okay. If
But
we get the server access, we are working. We will be trying to cover about something related to efforts.
because for finance side, the FRC is the key thing, right? And I'm just asking FRC. FRC you have mentioned in your cloud reporting tools.
Yes, we will be touching, but not very much in detail.
Okay, and you have not mentioned the flex fields and value set related things. So are we covering that or not?
No, flex field and value set and everything. If you want, I can take a session of lookup, value set, flex field, and UDT, but that is majorly part of a functional setup and trainings.
But to develop any report, you need flex value sets, right?
To develop any reports, you need a value set. Why?
Yeah, to give the parameters, to select the values. So value set is required.
From report section, we will be covering everything. Even we are using fast formulas, there also we will be learning about value sets. Each minute integrities are not part of that, but see, I am telling you, you will be having almost 3 to 5 years of technical experience after this. Every complex real-time portion we will be touching, starting from uh, very easy things to the medium to the advanced technical understanding. That is our objective to teach and share with you. Okay.
Okay.
Fine then, guys. Please do register and reach out to admin. Get all your accesses, get all these study materials. Okay. And just request you to go through with these contents that we have discussed. The recordings you must be having, and then tomorrow onwards, we will be starting with one of the actual class and the technical trainings. Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.